Hey, it's Michael here, and I just wanted to thank you for your support by listening and participating in our live community calls. If you want more Unmute, including direct education like Braille and JAWS, check out Club Unmute at unmute.show.
This has been an ACB community call.
Today's Community Unmuted was hosted on Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Hey, look, he does know the dates.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Unmute. Some announcements here at the top. Wanted to remind everyone we're going to go through and take the question of the day. So if you want to answer that, you can. And then as well, one tech question. And once we get through everyone's first questions, we will try and make time for second questions if we don't go through everyone in the first time. So just want to remind everyone there, please just be cognizant of how much time so that we can make sure we get through everyone. Also, please be respectful. Make sure everyone gets the same respect as you would want and vice versa so everyone can have a good experience. Also, I wanted to remind everybody that we Unmute will be starting to go live every first Saturday of the month. So that's coming up here in November, the first Saturday. So check the community email for all the details as that comes forward. And you can also check more details and everything else on our website, which is unmute.show. And if you have questions, comments, or anything for us, you can email us at feedback@unmute.show. And the question of the day is, we have iOS 18.1 coming, which has got a bunch of new features. So the question is, what are you looking forward to as a new feature, or what bug are you hoping will get fixed that maybe your phone is not being cooperative or not working to your liking? And hopefully it'll get fixed in this, but we will see. And I will say for myself, I think I'm looking forward to the AI writing tools, which is the first part of the AI stuff they're going to release and let us play with. So we will see how that goes. I think it's going to be released next week is what rumor mills say. So we'll hope for that. And with me, as always, I got Michael. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing, Marty. Apple's confirmed that it's the 28th, so it'll be released on Monday. And frankly, there's really nothing I'm looking forward to in iOS 18.1 because it's just another software update. So
there you go. See?
On Sunday, we released Digital Bytes. Chris talked about sharing. Chris talked about bug reporting. I shared with you how we did the hybrid audio for Oregon's convention over the weekend. And Marky, that's Marty's new name. Marty showed you how to identify music using Siri. Marty and Chris sat down and did Mac Chat, which on this episode they explored Parallels, ChatGPT, and Clean My Mac Adventures and Beyond. On Wednesday, Adrian showed how to customize the emojis list on the Blind Shell Classic 2. Club members received a recording on Tuesday for WordPress Week 2. If you're interested in building WordPress sites, where today is week 3 of the four-part series that I am doing on WordPress. And then, of course, there was the Community Unmuted held on October 15th, which is the correct date. Today's date is October 22nd. So there we go. Sheila, do we have any hands?
We do. Ibrahim.
Hello, Ibrahim.
Hey, Ibrahim.
Hello. Hi, Marky and Mattel.
Oh boy. See what you started, Michael?
Yeah.
So I too I don't really think that there's anything really fantastic in iOS 18.1 yet. Not that I've heard, at least. And my question is actually kind of related to that, because I did hear of one thing that they're introducing is the ability to change your Apple email. So back in the day when I first got my first iPhone 4S, I created my Apple ID. Fine. My mother got a Apple phone a couple of weeks later, and I set hers up. And somehow, in the confusion, my Apple email addresses became hers, and hers became mine.
Oh,
Yeah. So
This was actually a thing
Especially-
back when and around the time you were talking about where
yeah,
they would get mixed up if you had like in the same family type account, you know?
yeah. And I have no idea how to solve that. And I'm wondering, will the new thing solve it, or will I have to get a brand new email address, Apple email address? You know, yeah.
so I don't know. That is an interesting question. By chance, is Apple support able to help you get it sorted out, or have they not been able to?
I emailed like probably back when that happened and never got a response. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would be interesting because I do not have an immediate answer. It may help with this scenario because I've never found myself in this situation, but definitely worth reaching out to Apple support as well because they may have some tools that were not available then that could help with this specific issue.
And how do I contact them?
Remind me what country you're in.
South Africa.
Let me see if I can find a South Africa phone number for Apple, unless you're aware of one.
I do have that number. I just thought maybe it's a email address, which would be easier.
I'm not aware of an email address, but you may be able to reach out via apple.com under the contact page and fill out that form. But if you have a phone number, that might be the faster way to get a result.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries, Ibrahim. Thanks a lot.
Janelle, do we have somebody in Clubhouse?
We do. We have Jane Suh. Go ahead, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
Hello. I'm looking for. I absolutely love my phone, but it's not practical for scanning documents. Although I have a phone stand, I don't want to sit there and scan every page. They used to have a Canon LiDAR or Canon LIDA scanner that looked like a flat bed scanner. I used to own one back when I had Kurzweil and OpenBook, and I don't have one anymore. Do they still sell those? It was just a scanner, no printer, no copier, no fax machine, just a plain flatbed. Because then I have to get an OCR program for my computer, but right now I just want to get a scanner, and yeah.
So they do still make just scanners. I don't have a specific brand or model that I can recommend for scanners. I would just search for standalone flatbed scanner, and that should get you the results that you're looking for. And hopefully that'll work out for you. And then there are plenty of software tools to be able to scan documents into. So thank you, Jane. Appreciate it and hope that helps. Sheila.
Alice.
Hey, Alice.
Hello. I recently, at the end of August, purchased a new iPhone 14. I had an 8 for over 5 years. There was nothing really wrong with it, but I just thought I should go to something newer. And it's fine in many ways, but the new way of charging this iPhone, while it charges so much more quickly, I am finding that the charge does not last nearly as long. My other one, I could go 2 days before I had to charge it. And this one, I am getting, barely a full day of charge. I don't use my phone as much as many people do, but I just wonder, is that common that the newer phones have that lesser amount of time of use?
Well, there's a couple new features that have been brought to the phone in the past couple years. Well, first I would say make sure you run all your updates because there has been some issues that have been resolved through software updates to make the
That-
battery not burn up as fast, when you use it. The other thing you would want to check is if you go into settings and then you go into the batteries, there's a couple different settings in there. And one of them is what it does is it charges your phone only up to 80% and then stops. And then it will wait until it thinks that you're 30 minutes before you get up on a normal schedule. And then it will charge the rest of the way. But if you don't actually follow what the phone's schedule thinks you're on, then it won't charge the last 20%. It only will go to 80 and then stop. So you're starting your day at already only 80%. So you can turn that off if you want. And then when you plug it in, it'll be how it used to be, where it will just charge it all the way up whenever you plug your phone in. I would look at that as well.
And then if you also tell Siri to open battery settings, you can scroll down through the battery screen and see what applications are using significant battery usage. So for example, I see that Dexcom G7 is using 9% of my battery, whereas Castro is using 20% of my battery. And it might be worth exploring which one of your apps might be using extensive battery. What you are experiencing is not the expected behavior. If none of those solutions result in figuring out what is using excessive battery or why your battery isn't lasting, I would at that point reach out to Apple support, because I wonder if there could be a hardware issue as well.
And when I ask what is the battery level, I do wait until it gets to 100%. So if it says 100%, is it truly at 100%?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And is it normal that this newer one is much hotter to the touch?
It shouldn't be so hot to the touch that you feel it unusually warm. If that's something that you're feeling, then I would definitely take it in and have them at the Apple Store run some diagnostic tests on it, just to make sure that you aren't actually having a problem. Because if you are, they'll either resolve that problem for you by either taking the battery out and putting in a new battery, or swapping your phone out for, one that doesn't have issues.
And Apple can run those diagnostics remotely. So if you don't have an Apple store close to you, like I don't, you can call their support team and they can do some tests on your phone remotely as well.
When I called, the gentleman at Apple support turned off something screen for me, and that helped a little bit.
So do you have any vision at all or no?
No, none at all.
That's called screen curtain. And
Yes, that's
the
what it
reason
was.
why they ask you to turn that off is if you don't have any vision and you don't use the screen at all, then the screen's not on, taking up extra battery that you don't need it to. So they'll say turn off the screen, which is actually turning on what's called screen curtain. And then that way your battery lasts way longer, because you're using your phone, but you're not using the actual display, which is the thing that actually takes up the most battery on your phone for the most part.
Okay, well, I really thank you for your help today.
Yeah, no problem. If you have any other questions or they can't help you, then let us know. But definitely take it in if you still feel it being unusually warm to the touch, because that's not normal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Lynn,
Hello.
Hello.
So I haven't installed iOS 18 period yet. So
Mhm.
don't know anything about 18.1 because I haven't even tried 18 yet. I heard there was a Braille issue on the phone, so I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, hopefully they'll fix that.
Yeah. My question is a little bit strange and possibly does not have an answer, but I thought I would ask anyway. I have a PC and it's on Windows 10, and I would like to get it up to Windows 11 soon. But I'm a little nervous to do it myself because I'm not really, really techie. I know enough to get me into trouble is kind of what that amounts to. And I don't want to take it anywhere because, like, if you take it to Best Buy, you get it home and it's often not the same machine you brought there.
Well, the first thing I would say to you is, how old is the computer that you are using right now?
It's about 2 years old. And that's the other thing is I don't know if it'll take Windows 11, but I think it will. It's been offering me Windows 11.
I'm
I don't
not
know if
sure
that
that
means
it
anything.
would not offer or offer. It just is the thing they put in there.
Okay.
But if
Okay.
you say yes, and then it might go, your computer's not able to run 11.
Right. So what I was wondering is two things. Well, okay. I'm looking for a little bit of hand holding. So could I either go through the Be My Eyes part and go through the Microsoft
Yes.
funneling there, or could I go through Microsoft Disability? Because either way, if they hook up to my machine or whatever and help me, at some point that's going to go off.
Correct.
So if I was in your situation, what I would do is I would access the service directory from Be My Eyes, go down to
Okay.
technology, choose Microsoft Disability Answer Desk. And once you do that, they'll be able to see through your camera. So they won't get disconnected. And they'll be able to will guide you through what keystrokes you need to press and how to proceed. There is a tool out there that they will probably have you download to ensure that your device is compatible with Windows 11. But that would be your best bet, and that would get you hand holding all the way through the process. And I just heard an interesting number. They process between 11,000 and 12,000 calls per month. So don't feel like you're an inconvenience to them. Like some users have told me that they feel like they're there to serve you, to help you with getting your tech issue solved.
Okay. So then, so you won't, they won't have to go right up to a machine then, and I'll have to do I'll do all the work, and they'll just be watching, right? Is that
well,
true?
they may, I mean, that depends on the workflow that they have. They may need to connect to your computer. And if they do, then hold on one second. I have 3 screen readers talking in my head. Hold on one sec. Stop. There we go. They will, if they need to, they'll connect remotely to your computer. But when the update process is actually in play, and they're not connected, then calling through Be My Eyes gives you that second level of the fact that they can then see through your camera, and you'll be able to get that assistance from there.
And they can tell me how to position the camera and everything so that they can see what they need. Okay.
Yep, they're great at guiding you for that.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Of course.
You're very welcome.
Pam Coffee.
Pam Coffee.
Hello. My apologies for the outdoor traffic noise. It's a beautiful day here. It's too pretty to stay inside. Okay. My in 18.1, I am hoping, even though I very rarely have to use it, I look forward to being able to record a phone call. Like I said, very rarely have I had to use it, but there are those times that it needed to be done and I couldn't. So, now for the person who was experiencing her phone getting abnormally warm and her battery dropping like a rock, one thing she might want to check is screen brightness. Because a lot of times, for whatever reason, by default, that seems to be turned way, way, way up. And if you have no vision, you can put it at 0. So you go to settings, go to display and brightness, and click down until you find screen brightness, and do a down flick until it gets to 0, and that will make a huge difference. And one other thing, make sure your flashlight isn't turned on. That can happen. Go into Control Center, and if flashlight is turned on, turn it off, and then set up a notification that will alert you when your flashlight has been on for, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It will alert you that your flashlight is on. And yeah, you might have it on deliberately, but it's gotten me out of a couple of accidents when I didn't realize my flashlight was turned on, and it notified me and I was able to go in and turn it off. So she might want to check those.
All right, Pam. Those are some great tips. In her particular case, she did have screen curtain already on, so I'm not sure that the
yeah, but this is screen brightness. It has nothing to do with screen curtain.
okay.
It's screen brightness, and it tells you how much your screen actually lights up. Even with screen curtain turned on, you want to have your brightness turned down.
Okay. Thanks, Pam.
So, yeah, thanks.
Have a great one.
Matthew.
Hey, Matthew.
Hello, how you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was wanting to know, I am having an issue with my AirPods and my laptop, especially in particular with Teams, more specifically when I am when I'm either going to join a call or an issue. Well, it's really only when I'm joining a meeting or joining a call that this occurs to. When I get the prompt where it says, I think the first prompt is your computer audio. Once I get to that part and open it, my AirPods just go dead and I can't hear anything. So I either got to take them off. I've called Freedom Scientific, and what they've explained to me to do is use my insert space, V for volume and C for I forgot what the C is supposed to be for, but I can do that and I can get the Teams to pair up with my AirPods at the time. Sometimes, not all the time. But then when I'm ready to disconnect from it, I cannot disconnect and I have to turn JAWS off or restart my laptop to turn off that voice control that I have it on. How do I fix that?
So I'm a little confused by what you mean, turn off that voice control. Are you talking about turn off the team call?
Yeah, well, to turn off, to swap the AirPods from being used, because what happens is once I end the team call, once I close the meeting or get out of the meeting, then my AirPods are just, I can't hear anything out of them. So the only way to resolve that, my workaround right now, is to close out of JAWS and then relaunch JAWS back again, or I have to just restart my laptop all over again because I can't get it out of the volume control that I've selected when I did the insert space, the V and the C.
Yeah. Okay. So so first of all, I'm not surprised to hear that you're having issues with Bluetooth and Teams in Windows. For some reason, Windows has never, in my opinion, had the best Bluetooth support, especially on phone calls with tools like Skype, Zoom, and Teams. Have you tried to do JAWS key space VC and then up and down arrow after the Teams call, and that just never results in anything, correct?
Correct. Yeah, because I can't, number one, I can't hear it. Number two, I don't know if the list is popping up of the list of devices that I'm trying to connect to.
Right. Right.
To the laptop speaker or my AirPods.
So I understand that you can't hear it, but the point of that keystroke is to be able to cycle through all of your sound cards. So it would be interesting the next time you try it is if you do JAWS key space VC, even though you can't hear anything, and then down arrow probably 3 or 4 times and see if your JAWS comes back through the speakers at some point on your laptop. I think it probably will, and that would avoid you from having to reboot your computer or restart JAWS. Also, when you take the AirPods out of your ears and put them in the case, does your audio not switch back to the laptop?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I would say 50%. 50% it isn't, and 50% it's not.
Yep.
You might have some better reliability with just going with some straight up USB headphones so that you don't have all the loss of whether it's going to work or not work in terms of, the Bluetooth connecting the audio or not connecting the audio or whatever the case is.
Okay. Yeah, I a lot of times with the, I guess, the USB ones you say, huh?
Yeah, USB or USB-C, depending on your computer. Ultimately, a wired headset, I find to be, and this is just my opinion, so others may disagree, but I find that to be several times more reliable and solid than using Bluetooth with Windows.
Yeah, I was using old school plugged in, and the.
Yep, that'll work too.
I was using those, but for some reason that thing's not working anymore. I guess I wore it out.
Oh,
Well, you
no.
eliminate the whole, Bluetooth wireless issue when you just go
Yeah.
with straight up USB, and you kind of eliminate all that. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys' time.
have a
day.
great one. Thanks.
Bye.
Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Hi, guys. Sorry I'm a little late. I'm okay, except my Lady A is having issues with her volume controls. 1 minute she's really full blast, like my voice gets to be on my cordless phone, and other times she comes down so soft I can't hear her. And this has been happening ever since the so-called update she had. And I'm at a crossroads whether to get a new Echo, because this came from the Commission for the Blind in my state. They enrolled me in a pilot program where 5 other users across the state, 5 other clients, were enrolled in a pilot program for Lady A. And I enrolled in that program, and that was in 2018, August of 2018.
Oh,
and
a new one.
This is 2024 now.
I am probably not the best person to say this, but ultimately I would get a new one. If I had a 6-year-old Echo device, which I have 2 on my desk right now, one is finally bit the dust and is not powering on. And these are Echo Dot 3rd generations, because they're the flat hockey puck ones.
Yep, that's what I have.
So I'm in the market of probably having to replace these. Unfortunately, I missed Prime Day, so I'm going to have to wait till Black Friday, because I do not want to pay full price for an Echo Dot because I'm cheap. So definitely, I think at this point, probably time to replace it. At this point, Laura, you got to decide, is it worth troubleshooting and spending the time and energy to troubleshoot it, or going and spending $20 to get one that you know will work?
I have the $20. That's not the problem. It's just that, I really don't want to do something I need to do, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
It's just, should I or shouldn't I? mean, should I? Maybe somewhere down the road, but, the volume keeps getting the volume keeps changing, and it's crazy. I'm not even touching the volume controls.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been happening since the so-called update that she had.
Yeah. And you can always reach out to Amazon support. They have a live chat feature on their website, or you can search for Amazon support phone number and see if Amazon has any suggestions. But it sounds like it's just starting to cause more problems than what it's worth.
Yeah, I guess, because it came to me free because, the Commission for the Blind paid for it. But, and because I had never owned an Echo before, I had to do a couple of things like get a smartphone. That was a long story, and that's for another day. But getting it set up took such a long time. It took 2 appointments with my teacher. So, and then once we got it going, I really fell in love with it because I have friends, outside the community that have Echo Dots, and I really love it. But now that, this crazy update took place, it's been acting weird. So, for lack of a better word. So, I don't mind spending $20. That's not the problem. The problem is, do I want to? I'd rather, because one of my bills is pending, and I want to be sure that I have 2 bills that are pending. Mm-hmm. One a dental bill and one a cable bill.
Copy that.
Well, I don't want to spend the money right now.
Well, those are my suggestions. Reach out to Amazon support to see if they have any suggestions for you. Otherwise, you could just replace the unit, but I get what you're saying there, Lori. Sorry, I don't have any other direct answers for you.
Oh, thanks. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
Appreciate your time, and I appreciate the call as always.
Thanks a lot. Sheila, who do we got next?
You don't have any hands.
Oh, no.
I can't believe it.
Marty, what are we going to do for 31 minutes? So
we're going to make Sheila raise her hand.
Hey, Stacy.
Hang on. Stacy, go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to decide whether or not to purchase a computer or not to purchase a computer, but it has
We lost you.
has to do with a lot of whether or not the Braille Sense 6 can get its act together with other websites and how to change from one website to another because I'm having trouble doing it.
If you're doing a lot of
With
web
the Braille
browsing, the
Sense
Braille Sense
6.
6 is not going to be the
And,
best device because that's based on a Oh, sorry. There's a delay, so you stopped. So I thought you were done. So go ahead.
No. I mean, whether the Braille Sense 6 can get its act together with Chrome because it doesn't seem to be able to change from one website to another website to another.
Gotcha.
And
So-
I'm getting tired of not being able to do that easily.
So in that case, if I was in your scenario, and I believe you've brought this issue to us several times, so and I know you've talked to HIMS and they haven't been able to help you, I believe. So at this point, it might be worth exploring a computer. I would go through an organization such as Computers for the Blind, because that will also come with some direct training on using the computer with JAWS, so you can be as efficient as possible.
I've heard all that before, but I have a friend who is not very excited with Computers for the Blind, and she's having to go through another. She's having to go through is it Services for the World or something? Which one is that?
World Services for the Blind.
I forget what. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
She's having to go to them, and she doesn't even like their instructors. So I'm thinking about, are the Sweetmans still? I can't even get them. I can't get in touch with them now. Are they still working?
I don't know who they are, so no, I don't. The Sweetmans, is that what you said?
Sweetman?
Yeah, I don't know who they are. You'd have to do some research. I've never heard of them. But definitely remember that you also have.
We've been their faithful customers for years.
Okay. Well, good. Then you should have their contact details to find out if they're still in business. But remember, there also is the Freedom Scientific's training team at freedomscientific.com/training. If you want to work independently and teach yourself the JAWS program, if you don't like the support/training available through other organizations. NVDA also offers comparable training programs as well. So that's
I used to have them, I used to have I used to be a Windows user. It would be probably just a brush up, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I used to be Windows 7 user, so
okay.
It would be just another, I haven't used a computer since 2020. That's the issue.
Gotcha. Yep. A lot's changed in 4 years, but Stacy, that's a few different options for you to pursue, especially if you're not getting the support you need from HIMS for that Braille Sense 6. So hopefully that gives you some things to think about. We can't make the decision for you, but we can give you some ideas to think about. Okay.
Yeah, and I found a Hewlett Packard that seemed to have a raised up enough computer keyboard that I'm thinking maybe, as a laptop. I was surprised. It had a raised up enough computer keyboard that I could actually identify the keys.
That's cool.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Thanks a lot. I do see we've got several people who have not raised their hand yet. Marty, you want to go ahead before we take this next hand and remind people what the question is? And then I'm sure Sheila will be happy to tell you who's next.
Sure. So the question of the day is iOS 18.1 is coming out next week. And so what are you looking for in terms of features that they're going to be bringing, which you don't have now? Or maybe there's a bug on your device that you'd like to get fixed. And are they going to fix that? And what would that be? So there you go.
Who do we got next, Sheila?
Petra.
Hello,
Hey,
Petra.
Petra.
Wow, that was fast. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
I don't know about 18.1. I guess I'll look forward to seeing what they do have. My trepidation is that for some reason, I have an iPhone 13 mini. I have 5G Wi-Fi, I guess. I don't understand a lot of these things. But anyway, my Wi-Fi company has been out and reinstalled everything because I've griped to them about a problem. and everything should be brand new. I'm only about 20 feet from the router, but when I do an update, sometimes, most recently, the last several times, with an Apple update, my phone will sometimes it's taken over 2 hours and 40 minutes to do the update. And sometimes during the progress, it'll say, update 2 hours and, 2 hours, or it'll say it'll take 2 days, and then it'll go back to 10 minutes, and then it goes back up to 3 hours. And it takes a huge long time. Apple blames my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi says it's good. It's the iPhone. I wonder if any of you have any suggestions. In the very beginning, when I got this phone brand new, 2 years ago, it didn't take that long for the updates. But when they come out with an update now, I almost dread it because I'm thinking, okay, how long do I need to take for this install to take?
Well, first of all, the Wi-Fi that you have in your house kind of goes on two things. One is the speed of what your router is. There's all different kinds of technology now. And so you want to make sure that what your phone is doing and what your router is doing is going to be at optimal. If you don't quite have the correct setup, then it may not run as fast as it could run. So that could be an issue. I would also check your hard drive space on your phone, because if your hard drive isn't necessarily all the way full, but it's getting close, then you may want to delete some stuff and make some room. They say you want to have about 15 to 20% of free space on the phone, or any computer for that matter, in order for it to work at optimal speeds. So if there's apps that are on your phone or data that's on your phone that you're not using, I would delete some stuff to try and create some more room. I would also say make sure that you reboot your phone every so often. That does help a lot. Usually, if you don't ever reboot your phone, just rebooting it really helps a lot of things a lot of the time. And you can also shut off your router, wait a couple of minutes, turn it back on again, and also restart your phone. And that may help a lot as well.
Okay. Well, it's a new router. I just got it last January or February. How would we be able to check the router and the phone? Like your first suggestion, how would we do that?
You would want to check with your service provider. I'm assuming that the router that you got us through the service provider that provides your internet. Is that correct?
No, they wanted a huge amount. So we went to, I think we got it from Walmart.
Okay.
I need to look to see what kind of router it is, but it was very highly recommended. And my Wi-Fi, the gentleman that reinstalled everything, saw the router when he was here and didn't say that there was anything wrong with it. And then I even got from Verizon, a Wi-Fi extender. So,
so a couple things. One is you could get something that's the latest technology, that does have the latest technology. So you could go and you could buy a router that's going to have the latest technology with all the cool stuff. But the problem is it only will work on compatible devices at that super fast optimal speed, right? So it will only go as fast as your slowest device. So if your iPhone doesn't have that technology in it where it will allow you to run at the fastest, most optimal speed as your router, it's going to just slow down to whatever your phone can handle. So
that makes sense.
You would want to check that. Even though you have a super fast router, you want to make sure that your phone can handle that new technology. So if not, you're just going to go back down to whatever your phone can handle.
How do
and I would also check your hard drive, and I would restart your phone as well. But you could look on the box that the router came in, and it will tell you what it has to offer in terms of speeds and what it would go up to the maximum and down to the lowest and everything in between. And then also you can look up what did you say? You had an iPhone 13 mini. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, so that's already a few years old. That technology may not be up to the same technology as what your router currently has. Excuse me. But
that's discouraging, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
People don't really understand that. They
thank you
just think that they're going to get the fastest thing, and all of a sudden that works, but they don't take in consideration the full big picture, you know?
Right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
Yep, no problem at all.
Janelle, did we have somebody in Clubhouse?
We do. We have Herbie.
All right, so a couple of things. One, I can tell you something that I'm not looking forward to with 18.1 that I've experienced with the beta at least, is right now at least it doesn't seem like my audio ducking is working, which I realize that I'm the 1% of people that like that feature on the iPhone, so it's probably not exactly a high priority thing, but that is a little bit frustrating because I updated this morning and I was trying to listen to something, and unfortunately, it was louder than the voiceover. So, that's an opposite answer to your question. Also, I wanted to comment on something earlier, because I think there's some confusion over screen curtain versus screen brightness. And the screen curtain, from what I can tell with my light perception at least, dims out the screen brightness. So even if your screen brightness is, no matter what it's set to, if you enable the screen curtain, then that takes over and it completely dims the screen. So, and just a quick shortcut, you can also get to your screen brightness from the control center, and without having to go through settings and display. So that's all I have.
Cool.
Thanks,
Herbie.
Herbie.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Alrighty.
Teresa.
Hey,
Hello,
Teresa.
Teresa. I almost got my Windows machine reset.
Teresa, you're muted. Now you go.
Okay. I'm probably going to ask because something might be a little off topic, but it's just something that had caught my curiosity. I know the Echo Dots, the ones that are the fifth generation, do not have a 3.5 millimeter jack where you can plug headphones. But I was just wondering, is there a way you can pair them to a Bluetooth speaker by chance?
I believe you can. Perfect. That was an easy question there, Teresa. Yeah, I'm 95% sure you can pair them to a external Bluetooth speaker, and that will give you higher quality audio. Sheila, do we have any other hands?
You do. Tom Kaufman.
Hello, Tom.
Hey, Tom. How
Hello,
are you?
Michael and Marty and everybody. I don't know if this is a bug. I've noticed that ever since the upgrade to iOS 18 on my 2020 SE phone, which that might be some of the problem right there because it's 4 years old, and as soon as I can get to a Verizon store, it's going to find a new home. But anyway, when I go to my email, I go inside of an email, and then I'm done reading it, and I close it. It sends me all the way back to the back button. So if I'm several emails away, I got to swipe all the way back to it to get to the email that I was dealing with to delete it.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I didn't have that problem until I went to iOS 18, and every email that I open, that's what it does.
So when you go back, how do you go back out of an email?
I hit go to the top left and to the back button or just and you get rid of it, just close out of the email.
Okay, so I'm opening an email.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to where it says inbox back button, and if I double tap there, it does not seem to move my focus to the top of the messages. Oh, okay. I think I see what might be happening. So if I open an email and then I go back, hold on one second because I want to try something real quick. Okay. So let me tell you what I think is happening. I can't guarantee that that's what's going on. But if you tap on the back button in the top left corner to go back to the list of your messages, does it instantly say back, or does it just not talk to you for a second and then you touch the screen?
I think it says back button. I think,
Okay.
I do it. I do these things, and sometimes, it's just, I don't even think about what I'm doing. Sometimes I just do it.
Amen. I definitely get that. That's why I had to try it on my phone while we were talking to see what that process looks like. So,
well, whatever I was doing, it used to be I could just close out of that email and I'd still be focused on that email, and I just swipe up and delete it. But now I can't do that.
So what I have found to consistently put me back on the last message that I was on is not to use that back button. So if I double tap and I open a message, right? I'm in an email from a friend named Shane. Okay. This shows me this message. If I put 2 fingers on the screen and I do this in a very fluid motion, I swipe left, right, left, and I do that fairly quickly. That's the gesture to go back. And if I do that every time, it puts me on the message that I opened. So then you can start flicking to go forward to the next button or to the next message. So again, open the message and then start in about the center of the screen. It doesn't matter where on the screen, but start there with 2 fingers and put them on the screen and then swipe left, right, left. And that'll take you right back. And that's the gesture of going back. And that takes you back to the message thread.
Yeah. So in other words, okay, so I've read the message and then I just keep the email open and swipe, do that left, right, left thing.
With 2 fingers. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And just do it very fluidly. Just go left, right, left. So left, back to the right, and then back to the left. And then it should say messages, and then it'll say, it won't say unread because now the message is read. So it'll say messages, the person's name, and then the subject line.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
Sweet. Tell me if that works for you. And that's also a gesture that works throughout the operating system that will let you scrub back and go back without having to find a back button in an application. I use that, I would say 90% of the time versus actually finding the back button on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a shot. I mean, it's
Sweet,
kind of, because it's kind of a pain, if you've been like 7 or 8 or 12, 10 or 12 messages in, and then you got to go and find that message again to delete it.
Yes, sir. Yep. I agree. So I hope that helps and let us know. Okay.
I'll give it a shot.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Good afternoon, Marty and the SB family. How are you?
Good.
Great.
How are you? Thank you.
Yeah. Thing is, I have to get a new iPhone, so I cannot answer the question on that iOS 18 point something. And my question is, what is the question? You are talking about some WordPress something in the beginning of the room, am I right? I didn't listen properly at the time. Only I came inside. Kindly explain to me once again. Thank you.
Can you repeat that question?
You are saying something about class on WordPress, something like that. You are telling. Yeah.
Yep. So when I was going over the material of content that we have published under the Unmute brand over the last week, I did mention the replay of WordPress Week 2, and then we're doing WordPress Week 3 today, and then WordPress Week 4 is next Tuesday. WordPress is a content management system that allows individuals to build their websites accessibly and easily, and those websites can be flexible. That content is not available. Yeah, I'm getting there for you, Robert. That content is not available in the public feed, so you cannot get that from Unmute in your podcast app. But if you go to unmute.show, there's a link to join Club Unmute. It's a $3 a month support program, and those WordPress replays are available for club members.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. You can also pay annually or purchase a membership for a friend. Sheila, do we have any other hands?
Yes, Nora.
Hello,
Hey,
Nora.
Yeah, hello everyone. My question, my thing. I'm just going to answer the question. My thing about the 18.1. I realize that it might have issues. I have an iPad in 9th generation, and most of the time I don't have problems with these updates. But I'm just hoping that this coming update will not cause any problems. So I can say.
Are you on iOS 18 right now?
Yeah, iOS 18.0.1.
Then you'll be good on 18.1.
Right. I just want to make sure there's no bugs in 18.1.
Well,
there's always bugs in software.
So we don't actually know until it comes out. But
yeah.
Right.
It's supposed to repair a lot of things, but you know how that goes. They'll repair a bunch of things and break a bunch of other things. So
Yep.
Yep. Same thing. Yep. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You have 10 minutes, and remember, games to play is right after us.
Okay.
Pam Coffee.
Hello.
Hey, Pam.
Miss
Okay,
Coffee.
very quick. That 2-finger scrub you mentioned a few minutes ago also works if you go right, left, right. That's how I learned it. God knows when, and I still just by default do it that way, and it works.
It does. I just tried it, so thank you. I've always done it left, right, left. So it's nice that it works either way.
Yes, and they used to say for a while they said do it like a letter Z, and that did work, but it doesn't work now.
Yeah.
A
So-
print Z, and I'm kind of glad they went back to the straight across because I know people who have no clue what a print letter Z looks like.
That would be me. I've never seen, so definitely get
Gotcha.
that. Well, thanks,
Gotcha.
Pam. Appreciate knowing that it
Thanks.
works both ways.
Thanks.
Righty.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, on that note, we appreciate everyone joining us and helping us end on time. Now I have to go back to real work, so I will let Marty wrap up the show and let you know how to get in contact with us.
Thanks everyone for being here. We always appreciate it. And Chanel and Sheila, thanks as always for all your help. We always appreciate you guys. If you want to reach out and find out all the things we got going on, you can check our website, which is unmute.show. If you have questions, comments, or anything else for us, you can reach us at feedback@unmute.show. And everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next time.